Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com.
I'm Marcus from SkiEssentials.com as well.
And we're here today to talk about Mons Royale. If you're unfamiliar with the brand, it's really cool stuff. It's a new brand for us. We brought it in this past fall. Probably came in around end of the summer, early fall, I believe.
It's our first year with them this year, yeah, so the fall is when it came in.
Yeah, so pretty new to SkiEssentials. I've kind of been following the brand for a while. They started in 2009, and the story is kind of one that we've heard before. Basically, the founders were kind of fed up with the current availability of base layers that they felt fit their needs. So they went out and created this brand, and they did it with a focus on merino wool, one as a fabric, and with more of a fashion focus, a little bit more excitement behind their marketing campaigns than we've seen from most traditional base layer companies. So really cool stuff. We're really excited to have it. Marcus and I have both been testing it since the start of the season, and we're both really, really happy with it, which we'll get to in a little bit here. But first, if you're not familiar with merino wool, it's got some really, really cool properties to it. And if you've never worn it, you definitely should consider picking some up. Let's run through some of the just basic benefits of merino wool.
There's a lot of benefits for sure.
Yeah, definitely. One of the big ones is it's antimicrobial, so it doesn't get that stink that some synthetic base layers can get. It's got the highest warmth to weight ratio of any fabric, which for a sport like skiing is key because it's keeping you warm without being weighted down.
Right.
I always hate to feel kind of heavy and bulky and stuff like that. It absorbs moisture really better than any other fabric, which is kind of key to its temperature regulation, which is also one of the really big benefits of merino wool. And then something that we really like, and you should too, is it's environmentally sustainable. So It's 100% biodegradable. So, I could throw this in the woods and I don't know exactly how long it would take, but
We're not going to throw it in the woods, but we'll see from there.
Sooner than later, it would biodegrade,
Yeah.
Unlike a synthetic fabric, which would last for a really long time. And then Mons actually takes it a step further, and they use ZQ merino wool, which is like the highest tier of merino wool. So they have to hit all these fancy regulations. This fabric is traceable back to the actual farm that the merino wool came from, the actual sheep. It's got the highest fiber quality. They really focus on farmers' stewardship to the land, again, environmentally sustainable, which is huge. Their focus on animal welfare. They don't do any mulesing, which is something that I had to research myself, and I encourage you to as well. And they get audited by a third party every year, which is pretty huge. And then the actual fleece that they take from the sheep is hand selected, which kind of goes back to the highest quality fiber that they can get. So that's kind of some history of Mons and the fabric. So let's talk about performance. Marcus, what do you think? You've been skiing in this
Yes,
just as much as I have.
I've been in a ton of different types of base layers, whether it's a polypro, synthetic, a little bit of everything. And so far, this stuff I'm beyond impressed with. It's one of those things, if you've never been in wool, it's hard to know, but once you get in it, you don't really want to go back to anything other than wool itself.
Yeah.
This stuff is super comfy. Again, we've touched on all those things of how Mons has designed it to more of a lifestyle piece as well as a functional piece. They do really well there, so the fit in general is just really nice, relax against the skin, soft against the skin. You can see I have my fingers in the thumb loops, which I really do. It's just comforting to me, and also when it's in my jacket, it's just one kind of moving piece. So I think it's an unbelievable product.
Yeah, definitely. I like that you touched on the cut of it.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I really like. Most base layers are pretty form-fitting,
Right.
and I don't necessarily want to wear that all day long. But this stuff, I have it tucked in right now, but the length is actually really good.
Yeah, and the length for me, I'm 6'5", 6'6", depending on the day. But it's long. I'm wearing an XL right now, and it lengths in the arms pretty good. In the back, if you bend over to buckle your boots or whatever you're doing, you're not getting the wind up there. It's a nice long piece, whether you decide to tuck it in or not. I usually wear a bib, so I don't get the wind in there anyways, but if you were not wearing a bib, I'd imagine it'd be long enough to kind of keep the breeze from going up.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
Something that you and I were talking about yesterday, the kind of temperature regulation and its ability to absorb moisture
Right.
is just crazy impressive. Like, you do a lot of hiking in the backcountry. I do a lot of
Completely.
hiking in the park and the backcountry a little bit. But yeah,
So
talk to me
even
about
like
that.
today, we had a little bit of snow. You're moving around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Usually my layers, I'm kind of wearing this, an insulated piece of my shell, which
Yep.
is strictly shell. And before in the past, I'd wear probably more
Yep.
because of the base layer, but this piece is just so warm, and it's kind of their middle, I guess, of the run weight.
Yep.
But it just delivers so much more warmth. And as moving today, developing a little bit of sweat, a little bit of moisture, and you don't feel clammy. You don't feel like that kind of against your skin uncomfortableness. It keeps the warmth, and it keeps that kind of clamminess off your skin.
Yeah.
Which is really nice and comforting to know that. And on the uphill side, like you touched on, is usually I want to get to the top and just rip the piece off because it's soaking wet and wring it out. Where this piece really just regulated, it breathed. I didn't have to be taking it off. I kind of just threw my shell back on and went downhill. So
Yeah, that's what I've found.
yeah.
I tend to sweat a fair amount.
Yeah, I'm a warm person as well. So
which is always tough. You work up a sweat and then get back on the lift and you're freezing.
right.
And I just stay a lot more comfortable wearing this product than anything I've had before. This is the thicker. This is the Olympus 3.0. It's not outrageously thick by any means. It's still pretty thin. Like, I can see through it still.
Right.
But a little bit warmer than what Marcus has on in terms of thickness. But it's still, like today, like you were saying, it snowed a fair amount. I was skating around the base area a few times in 6 inches of snow, and definitely was kind of working up some sweat, but pretty much dried off immediately and stayed really comfortable and really warm. I've been wearing their face mask quite a bit. They have a hinge face mask. We actually have a selection of their neckies and balaclavas. What I've been wearing is more of a balaclava. But I notice it on days when I want to, put it way up over my face and I'm breathing into it all day. It dries itself on the run down. Whereas a synthetic necky or another material, you just keep getting that moisture kind of building up throughout the day, maybe freezing. That never happens to me with the Mons.
In this piece, we keep talking about neckies. This is the Yodi. I can't pronounce it properly, but it's got a built-in hood. I have a necky on, so you can't necessarily see it, but it actually has kind of, as you pull it up, it has like a face mask.
Yeah.
Which I do like.
Built-in balaclava.
Kind of built-in, but I don't use it as much. I usually wear a necky, which the nice thing is that high neckline, again, kind of like where you get the air up the back. If you have a necky, you can kind of scrunch it down and you don't get the air coming in. So they've really thought of everything: performance, fashion, function, the whole nine. And there's a few other pieces we have that really support the rest of that fashion and function.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing piece. And I have the base layer as well. I have the double barrel base layer.
Yep.
And going to sizing, this is an XL, which I like and it's comfortable. I did downsize to a large on the bottom. So
cool.
That was something I definitely noticed, even being 6'6". I just didn't like having the full length around the ankles and the boots, so it kind of came up a tiny bit.
Sure.
But and again, the function and the warmth of it is just impressive.
Yep. All my stuff is size medium. I'm 5'10", about 150 pounds. And it's nice having a 3/4 length base layer. Sometimes I kind of just pull mine up and then fold them up above the boot.
Right.
And there's not a super tight ankle, so it's really easy to do that. It's comfortable to kind of just leave them right there. And not have them, sometimes base layers are really tighter on the bottom and you try and put them up over your calf and it's practically cutting off circulation to your feet, which is never fun.
Yeah, that's the truth. And they kind of, I keep looking down and you keep looking at their logos and
they
just
did a little
pieces.
bit of everything.
They
A lot
have
of detail.
A lot of detail to it. And then on the leggings, you can't see it, but it says first thing on, last piece off. It truly is usually I'd want to take the base layer off once I get into the office, but I find myself kind of wearing it just because it's keeping that warmth comfortable and not overheating.
Yeah.
And it's a nice piece. Again, soft against the skin. Nice to wear.
Yeah.
So
that's Mons Royale. A couple pieces here. They have a onesie, which is really cool. Marcus and I are just wearing black because I guess we're just boring.
Right.
But they have a
That's
lot
what
of
we got.
really cool colors. They have this in like a green with orange accents, which I think is really cool looking.
Yeah.
So if that's kind of your thing, if you want your base layers to look a little cooler, transition right into après ski mode, if
Après
you
wear.
will. Definitely a great company.
And the female pieces too are brilliant. A lot of color and pop to them, as well as like some of the men's. Form fitting too. The men's definitely have some cut lines to it. The women's have a little bit more to it. But yeah, overall, I think Mons really has hit the spot on this one with kind of like Jeff said, the après after as well. You can just kind of roll off the hill into your favorite spot and continue your day.
Or into the office like us.
Or into the office.
So as always, let us know if you have any questions. We have a pretty big selection of Mons products on the website, so if you want to ask about a particular product, let us know. And we will see you guys on the slopes.
Take care.